Wow, are you guys ever in for a treat for today's segment? Because this is what you guys have been asking for. Why? Because the segment is called Ask Us Anything. We are going to expose ourselves. Well, they don't know what they're in for. But we love the comments, the questions that you guys sent through our posts, through our social media stories. We combined as many of them as we could. We want to try and address tons of these questions. Some are fun, some are serious, some are completely out of left field. So you guys better be ready, but we appreciate it. We love our fans, we love our audience. So if you're watching this, you're seeing it on Olympia TV. We have switched the platform, still on YouTube, but make sure you like, share, subscribe, more importantly, so you don't miss any of these fun episodes.
They're fun.
Yes, we have a good time here. We just got done dancing to Baby Got Back on our break.
Never too much.
Yes, and that's probably why I'm a little out of breath.
Not possible.
But that's all right, guys. We've got more fun coming. So I'm joined here by Camille. We've got Linda and Wendy, and a lot of these questions were posed to the entire group, but then some were more specific. So we're gonna get right into it. Are you guys ready?
We're born ready.
All right, we'll see about that.
Ready.
To be determined. All right, first question. Linda, I'm going to throw it to you, since you are the OG of Femme Flex Friday, a creator, founder. You are one of the original girls.
Yes.
We had someone ask, what does the 66 mean that is in the logo for Femme Flex Friday,
good question.
right? Yeah.
Good question. 66% women. We're 66% of this industry. All women talk show, right? And we designed this show for women and for our men to tune in if you want to know what's going on with the women.
Of course
this is
you
the
do.
place.
Yes.
But 66%, we, like as far as our divisions, the bikini division, figure, women's physique, women's bodybuilding.
Wellness, yes.
66%. We buy more products than the men.
Women,
Yeah.
make this
We
more
have to
popular.
have our makeup done, our hair done, the suits are expensive, the division numbers are incredible, and we blow the men out the water. So we got
We're dominating.
We're
That's it.
fabulous.
Dominating.
We're fabulous.
66% of the industry is made up of badass babes.
That's it.
Come on.
That's us.
Yes. All right. So, in case anyone was wondering, we've had a lot of questions, so I'm glad that came through.
Yeah.
All right. So, this is for everyone.
Okay.
If you haven't seen this yet, we did the one chip challenge. If you haven't watched it, it's hilarious. It's probably one of our most controversial, scary,
The most successful.
yeah, right? Yeah. In what regard? But everyone wants
That we
to know
are still
what
alive.
was the after effect. Before we have you guys answer, let's take a look here. Give you a
Yeah, I got to
glimpse.
see this one.
Memory lane here.
Good. I didn't want to do lip injection, so if that works. Your lips are so swollen right now. Maybe I have an allergic reaction. Oh my God, my lips are swollen. Look at them. Why?
That's
amazing.
Honestly, my fear was it was so hot, it was so disgusting. Even for the milk, I was afraid I was going to start losing bowel control.
You're right.
That's why I always was trying to find a place to lay down.
My soul left my body.
Are your tongues blue?
Oh my God, I'm watering just thinking about this.
Your lips are blue.
My soul was gone.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
This was
Femme Flex Friday.
Yes, Femme Flex Friday. This is fun. Aren't we having fun? Like
So much fun.
You know what? Send us your challenge. What do you want us to do next? Hold on. What do you want us to do next time?
You're the badass, Whitney.
I don't know about that.
I know.
And she was the one that she could not tolerate spice to
I
begin
hate
with.
spice. I have no gallbladder. I can't
know, there
eat
you go,
spicy
laugh at
stuff.
that.
My
It's like
cheeks
that.
are hurting.
Oh, yeah.
already.
So they asked us how the true after effects
Yes.
were. So the effects were went on for hours afterwards. And then it went through the digestive tract, and it was gut wrenching.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It was.
Oh, yeah. I
It
had
was.
my son's football practice that night.
Oh God.
And it's on a field, there's no bathrooms. So I told him, I can't go watch your practice. I had to stay in the car. I was literally worried
Really?
I was going to have some sort of
Mistake.
accident
Oh my
and
God.
have to run to some, I don't know, Taco Bell or something and use the bathroom. I didn't throw up, and I didn't actually have any issues like that,
my gosh.
but I couldn't eat for over a day.
And it hurt the next morning too.
Yeah.
It was like a long-lasting effect.
And
So
my
I
lips
agree.
I did have an allergic reaction. I mean, they were huge.
Yeah.
Not cute, huge.
They were cute. You were cute.
At first you
Oh,
were
it got way worse.
At first
though.
you were excited about it.
I was like, oh, look at this.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I remember like with Camille, you were like after. Like you had to
I had to go
lay
find a
flat.
bathroom and lay
yeah,
down.
And then we were concerned. I was like, oh my gosh, she's got to get on the plane. Well, her flight's not long.
I thought I was going to have to get my
So-
stomach pumped.
I'm just gonna be really honest with you guys about something, okay?
Uh-oh.
I honestly, if you want to do this with your friends, I feel like we bonded.
Yes. The texting and the laughs afterwards
yes.
went on for
I
days.
feel like it was such a bonding moment for us.
It really was.
It was like early.
Yeah.
It was
That
kind of
is
like we
true.
were just starting to
was.
like form our chemistry and our relationship together. And I feel like it was almost like, you know how at work, jobs they send their team out to do
Oh,
some,
totally.
like,
Team
bonding
building
thing, like
event.
ropes courses or
Yeah.
whatever. I feel like we
I
had like
agree.
an on the job camaraderie, excursion with the crew.
But would you do it again?
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
used to make ropes courses.
Would not do it again.
I don't think I would do it again.
See, now I mean, it would not be fun. But
Because
we
After
challenge
Effects.
prime time.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'll
If
be
you-
on that.
They have too much
So
information.
you guys
They're
that is
scaredy
I
cats.
must allow to have them equal the playing field.
Yeah.
They were supposed to, and they chickened out.
Bunch of babies.
If you are a supervisor, if you own a business and you want to bond with your staff, or your
that could be a
colleagues,
big liability.
Yeah.
That's how you're gonna.
Yeah.
That's your bond suggestion.
have an echocardiogram first.
Yes.
Well, so now you know. It was rough, but we all survived.
was.
We're all still here, bringing you fun, and it was fun, even
It
though
was.
we were in a
We
little
want
bit
to
of
bond
pain.
with you. Watch it, and then we'll be bonding with you
Right.
too.
All right, next question. Let's talk about mishaps on stage. I mean, we've all had them, but think of your most epic mishap on stage. Linda.
Yeah, for me, without question, in the beginning, guys, back in 1984, I believe was my first. 84, yeah. First bodybuilding competition.
Okay.
Okay. We did not have that glue, the glue that you glue your suits on.
Oh,
with.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't the cup part didn't pin it so it could slide all the way across the screen.
Oh,
on one
yes.
side. So anyway, I'm up on stage and I make the final cut or whatever, and then the DJ goes, pose down.
Oh,
and so
no.
then we all start posing down. Now at that time I did not have like breast implants, right? But I was a lean, mean fighting machine.
Show us the pose.
So it was not like if something came out, like I would feel anything. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's
and so pose down, and everything, and my little lady came out.
It was
And
there for the show, too.
And the whole little cup slid over, and she was just sitting out. So once that
gosh,
was over,
this is
then I
awesome.
got back up. You know how you have to go back and relax, and it was like quiet. And I'm waiting for people to, and the photographer was like looking up. He was like,
No,
He was
the
like-
judges didn't tell you?
no,
Oh,
but for
wow.
some reason I
They're
could
just looking
see
at
the
you.
They're
photographer,
like, "It's
and he
amazing,
was
Linda."
pointing, and I looked down and I saw.
Okay.
I was like, wonderful.
Most importantly, though, did you win?
No.
Oh,
It will not help your placing.
And you know what?
Obviously.
That was the catalyst for me going on to compete and win the Olympia. I promise you.
yeah.
Because I was so embarrassed.
That you want to go back
I was
out there.
so hurt.
Yeah, I need to
my
redeem
makeup,
it.
my blue eyeshadow was running down my face. It was horrible.
Oh,
I didn't know anything.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, look at you, 8 Olympic
There we
titles
go.
later.
Yeah, you're like,
It was worth
you
it.
thought that was impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth it.
How about you, Camille? Anything? Any mishap that you can think of?
I do under my embarrassing moment.
Yes.
So somebody had asked what my embarrassing moment on stage was, and it's kind of gross, but I'm going to be completely honest because this was the most embarrassing thing that happened to me. It was early on, and in another episode in the past, we were talking about menstrual cycles.
Oh, man.
So I was a new competitor, and I was used a tampon because I was on my period on show day, and I didn't know to
Tuck
the string or anything, and the string was
Camille was smuggling mice.
Really?
She's still embarrassed, I can see.
That is a hard one.
And the
Camille.
bikini girls have to go. The bikini girls have to turn around and fully bend over.
Right.
So that was after that moment. I always learned to you cut the
Really?
string.
Yes. Yes.
Just cut it. Just cut
the
it.
string.
Don't
Tuck it.
tuck it.
Do
But
something.
then what if you can't pull it out?
What's
I just
that?
worry about the.
You can't pull it out?
You want to leave that much
can,
string.
yeah.
You want to, if you're on your period, trust me.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
string is not fun, especially
Sure.
especially when you see it on pictures. You're just like, oh God.
Wendy, anything for you?
Oh my God! After
Any,
these stories,
any
good.
tampon
I
string?
have to follow
Dang.
these stories. You guys, like, your stories are so much more awesome than mine. I'll tell mine, but mine's gonna sound so anticlimactic. But I will. So I remember it was my first USA Championships, and I remember people were like really pumping me up, saying that I was so good at posing and all this kind of stuff. And like we talked before about how I had to hold back and everything, but I always really enjoyed doing my individual posing routine. And I was probably a little too like performative like early on. I did a lot of like performative stuff. But I remember I was in the middle of my routine and I got a cramp in my calf. And I was like in the middle of a pose. And when I got the cramp, my instinct kicked in and I did a full spin.
Ooh, fancy.
And I kind of tried to play it off. And afterwards, everyone's like, "What's that move you did? That's an interesting move." And so I use that story when I talk to my clients. I say, things are rarely going to go exactly how you plan.
no.
And I tell that story about, I'm in the middle of my routine. I got a cramp in my calf. You don't want to like make it look like anything. Just play it off. And sometimes people might think that you added that on purpose.
They never know.
So now in your posing routine, you do a little bit of a spin,
Yeah, maybe
and maybe you're just like, I'm gonna just
now
own
I'm
this.
rocking it.
Now
Yeah.
I'm doing it on purpose, though. This one is
Oh, wow.
practiced.
I'd say, mine, we're on stage. That's half our life, right?
Yeah.
Mine's not near as bad, thank goodness, but it's along the lines of I was competing, it was the Hawaii Pro, and my strap, I went to hit individual posing on stage, walked out, hit my front pose, went to transition, and I felt the strap burst. And I'm like, oh. So I remember just instantly kind of grabbing it, and I did all my poses with my arm, just holding
your
my
back.
strap on my hip. So I look like a one-arm fitness girl
And then
on
everybody started
stage.
to copy that.
Right, and then they mimic.
Improvise.
But I will give a huge shout. I still to this day do not know who the expediter is, because after I did my posing, he saw what happened. He saw I was holding it. I had to back up, and they were calling us for call-outs. He said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah." I'm just sitting there. Tie it wherever. Just tie it, just so it doesn't fall out. He just went, boop, boop, so
Really?
fast. They called us out. I go, "Done." He goes, "Done."
Okay.
And I tried to find out who it was afterwards, and they didn't know.
This was at the
someone
USA.
said- no,
It was
this
an
was at the
angel.
Hawaii Pro.
Oh, Hawaii
Several
Pro.
years ago, yeah. But thank goodness there was no boobage out for viewing that day.
Well,
Thank
whoever
goodness.
you are out there,
Thank you.
Thank you.
You probably remember because it was
I
kind of
hope
funny.
that came back around to you. And
Yeah, you were a
good happened to you.
savior. Speaking of saviors, we are saved by the bell from that story. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more embarrassing and funny stories. And we're back for more crazy antics from this crew. Ask Us Anything segment is continuing, and we've got a random thing. But obviously with prep, you got to eat a certain way. So we had a question come in. What is a food you got sick of, you could never eat again after prep? Or even more importantly, hey, is there a food that you really craved that was kind of weird after your show? Quick, rapid fire, what you got?
Tilapia, and the craving after a show was just bakery carbs.
I would say I want to be on a liquid diet. And I crave everything after. I just don't want to chew. So I like liquid shakes, and I don't know. I like everything after a show.
Yeah, my first show, it was this place called Dot and Etta's fried shrimp. This is my first time dieting, and I thought I was going to lose it, and I immediately ran to Dot and Etta's, and I had shoved all this fried shrimp down. And it all came up immediately.
Oh, did it?
And I said, never again.
Oh, wow. So that was you covered both of them.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
How about you, Wendy?
Well, I will say we think we have an eating disorder when we want to engulf everything in sight. And that's not an eating disorder. It's called being normal, because it is what it is. But I think tilapia. I got sick of tilapia.
Really?
And something I can have, I always crave, this is going to sound really weird, is eggs and egg whites. I always crave them because I think I'm connected to how good they make me feel too.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's going on with the tilapia?
I ate a lot of tilapia.
I ate a lot
I know.
I mean, it's not bad, but
I just got sick of it.
why do I
just
need
a
to
lot
eat
of
it now?
it.
Yeah. I've had enough.
You don't want to eat it now, huh? No tilapia.
I don't have to eat it now.
All right, so we're on camera a lot, whether it's, on this set or interviews or on stage. A question was, live on camera, was there ever an embarrassing story? I'll share one with mine. And actually, I need to try and find this clip because it was hilarious at the time. It was my first Olympia. It was either Muscle and Fitness, Flex, Muscle and Fitness, hers. It was this live interview that they were doing at the Olympia. And I just had my hair done, extensions done. And it was a girl interviewing, and she asked me a question. I went like this.
Oh.
And my extension came out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my extension came out. As if they didn't know.
That's
And
good.
she froze, and she's like, we're live. I'm like, oh, I know. I mean, I'm not trying to act like I don't have extensions.
awesome.
Everyone knows.
See?
And then I'm trying to flick it off as I'm answering her question.
Oh.
And it was just like, what the heck? So it has to be the craziest blooper.
Oh my
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I think
live
you
on camera.
that's the thing I'm impressed with fitness. You guys have to be really used to recovery.
Oh,
Yes.
gosh, yeah.
Like you have to know, because my God, I look at you and in your suits and you spread your legs.
Yeah.
You do that, and I'm like, whoa, did she practice it? How many times did you have to practice that?
Oh, yeah.
In that suit doing
There's a lot
like
of
a
mishaps
mishap
for actors.
Yeah. Stuff falling,
The
coming
bloopers
off,
are real.
Oh, yeah.
or you pull your
Yes.
outfit off and it won't come off. You're like, it's supposed to rip off.
Yeah.
You gave a lesson in life in that response, to be honest. I mean, I think that we all do embarrassing things, and we get so focused on how people are going to perceive us or being embarrassed that we don't stop and realize that, just play it off and laugh at yourself.
If I saw someone else do that, I would die laughing.
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious.
Help people be able to laugh
Shaking it
with
off.
you, because the worst is when everybody feels sorry for you, like, oh my God, I feel so bad, like, or make other people feel uncomfortable. Like my first like instinct is like, I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable that I did something embarrassing, because that's like what happens. You get embarrassed and everybody just feels uncomfortable.
Right.
So if you could just like laugh at
it
yourself,
off. Yeah.
I think
Laugh at yourself.
that is like the best life lesson.
Shit happens.
It does.
happens.
Yes,
It really
does.
That could be worse. Any other stories you can think of that was an on camera?
I shared mine already.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Okay, so we've got more. Ooh, if you had a different career other than in the fitness world that we are in, what would you guys do?
I'd be dental hygienist still. I was a dental hygienist before, and that's what I would be doing still.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder your teeth are perfect.
Just a passion for teeth.
Yes. How about you guys?
What about you?
I would be a dermatologist.
Totally.
You're
I'm
good.
obsessed with skin, and I just am so fascinated by it, and I think that would be a career choice that I would enjoy.
Linda, anything? What do you think?
I thought about like being an attorney, like that was.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
I had to deal with attorneys a lot lately, and
You're like,
nah.
not as fun. I'd love to find a career. It doesn't exist, but I would be willing to go to comedy shows and sit in the front row and laugh and make everyone else laugh because laughter is contagious and it's pretty easy.
That's
so I guarantee, even if they were a mediocre comedian, I'd laugh.
Awesome.
But it's not a job yet.
Let's
so
make that a job.
I would love it.
I think you would be an amazing public speaker.
Yeah.
Motivational speaker.
Thanks.
Well,
I
she
do
already
love.
does that,
I love
though.
public speaking.
I know you do
I'm
that.
just not
She
good at
doesn't already
jokes. So if it has to do with comedy, I'm on the audience side.
Whitney, let's make this a job. We would totally.
I'm in. Anyone hiring? If you guys know anyone that
We would
needs
kill
a
that.
laugher,
Great.
What's your job? I laugh.
We're gonna make that a job. That's a job.
Great.
It's not canned laughter.
Exactly.
If people can like create jobs like being like a hugging expert.
Yeah,
there's like
that's-
professional cuddlers.
Yeah. And my laugh is loud and obnoxious.
Professional cuddler.
It's a thing. It's
Are
kind
they
of bizarre.
professional cuddlers?
Yeah. And there's like these gurus that charge a lot for one hug.
You're thinking about it.
Odd.
I'm like, you want to be the cuddler? Or the
Yeah.
Right.
Are you the big spoon or little spoon?
That's funny. Crazy.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Adario has a question for us too.
What you got?
Adario,
funny.
who were your favorite female athletes in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s now and why?
Well, that's a easy one for me.
Favorites, isn't it?
I mean,
Oh,
she's kind of sitting
definitely.
right here, but
The 80s. For
Yeah, what about
sure. Like Anya Longer. And in the 90s, Corey Everson.
ooh, yes.
And let's see, 2000s, my favorite. Oh gosh, there were several. I actually in the 2000s, like the women that compete in the other divisions, like
Yeah, as the new divisions were released.
Because I know 2010 bikini, but fitness and figure. Yeah, I was just like a big fan of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Wendy, you said this
Yeah.
was easy. Who do you have?
Well, I mean, obviously Linda.
Yeah.
She's
that's
she was
nice.
she's like my hero. Hello. And then I would say Corey Everson. I'm not trying to copy, but I really.
I love
I
Corey.
actually. It's funny.
Corey, oh, phenomenal.
She's
Yes.
also somebody who she reaches out to like the newcomers. She reached out to me and like sent me like a really nice message and put a comment on my post, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't think people realize how much that means. to
Sure,
some of
yeah.
us, you know, like when like somebody that you idolize like reaches out to you, it like will make your whole day, you know.
Yeah.
And that made my whole world, you know. And so connecting with Linda is like amazing. And then I would say the early 2000s, Monica Brandt was
Yes,
she
she's
was a
amazing.
huge
Yeah.
inspiration for me
Yep.
when I first started competing. And then I've connected with her, so I feel connected with my heroes.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's pretty awesome. I mean, that's the thing is,
Yeah.
it's a small community in a
It
way where
is.
everyone is within
We
reach
have
to
like
some
a
extent.
respect for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linda, you're one of mine for sure. Easily just kind of up and coming and seeing this beautiful
Oh, yeah.
image of a strong female, and then knowing
I
that you're
that.
still in the industry was always like, wow.
Yeah.
It's not just about the stage, it's creating a career. So
Yeah.
to me, that was
Yeah.
inspiring as a businesswoman and an athlete of
Sure.
longevity.
Yep.
Monica Brandt was another one of mine. And then Jen Hendershot with fitness. I loved her
Jen, I love
style
Jen
and her
Hendershot.
craziness.
Yeah,
and
Jen.
I loved her.
I was fortunate to work with her back in the day, you know, when I was
Yeah.
kind of coming up. And I remember she had said to me once, she goes, "You'll be Miss Olympia." And like, I got chills even now. Like, I thought, okay,
That's
she's
awesome.
delusional. Like, but you know, hearing it from someone, I thought,
That's
wow, she
awesome.
actually, she believes in me. I don't believe in that, but
That's cool.
yeah, it was just kind of a neat,
Yeah.
and I love her as a person too.
Yeah.
How about you?
You know, I entered this sport much later, so I'm not really familiar with a lot of like the pioneers. Linda, for sure. But at that time, I was into different sports. So like surfing, Kelly Slater,
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's, like skaters. Like
Yeah.
those are the
I
sports
can
that
see
I would
that.
be
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
Also, I'm from like Santa Cruz, California,
Yeah.
so it's like a beach town, but
Yeah.
Totally.
different realm.
I understand.
I love
Tony
it.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we can have inspirations outside of our sport. I mean,
Yeah.
we weren't even
Yeah.
thinking about that, but why not?
All right, next question we got. Have any of you lost your cool or had a complete meltdown related to prep that you care to share with us? Key thing there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, prep isn't rainbows and butterflies,
Yeah.
but Wendy, any experience you can think of where it was just kind of a hard time?
Gosh, I can't think of anything for myself, but I have a story about a client that actually was about how well he handled something. Can I share something that's a
Yeah.
little bit different than maybe the exact question?
Totally.
Okay, cool. So we had a client, and I'll shout out to Osazi. I'll say his name. He did multiple divisions and multiple classes in this like local level show. And he went out to do his first class, and he did really well. He looked amazing, and then he came backstage, and he didn't go out for his next class, and he missed it. And so me and Matt, we were backstage, and we go, Osazi, is that your class right there? It's up right there. And we were behind the curtain looking out, and he said, yeah, they had already done the first call out, and we were like, just go out there. And he would have been like, he could have maybe even won the class.
Oh, wow.
He just jumped out there, and even though they put him like in the second class, they judged him in,
Yeah.
they pulled him in. And let me tell you something, I learned so much about him and his character. He handled it so well, because I've heard of people not handling things like that well.
Yeah.
And I had so much more respect for him handling that well than if he would have, had a meltdown, or, because that could have been a meltdown.
Totally,
He avoided it, yeah.
And he handled
the
it so
stress.
well. So I just think that, like, even though I know the question's about a meltdown, I will say that was a situation that happened that totally could have been a meltdown. I've heard of other athletes having something similar where they did meltdown, and I just think that, that is a lesson in how to handle something like that, because things don't always go our way.
Yeah, I know. I think with like me, I take the refrigerator. I was so hungry and starving and greedy, and
If you ever
I
have a
hit
meltdown,
myself
don't
in the
eat it.
mouth
You hit yourself in the mouth?
with the refrigerator door
Honey, the
and
universe
cut
is-
my lip. So I had a meltdown because it was like the show was like like around the
Wow.
corner. So
I mean, they happen.
meltdown.
Yeah.
Mishaps happen. If you haven't experienced one, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be lucky. But last question, we got to go to a break, but real quick, we got this a lot. Everyone wants to know, what was each of our favorite competitions? I already know mine. Let me throw to you guys first. What was your favorite competition?
My favorite competition was my very first Olympia, 2017. I went there expecting last call outs. I didn't even care. I was just happy to be there. And I placed 7th place.
Oh, that
That was my favorite competition.
first Olympia in bikini, and
I remember that. I was so happy for you.
You held me.
Yes.
I picked her up, and we took photos.
That is awesome. What
was
about
so
you
happy
guys?
For you, I remember.
Linda?
Let's see, my first.
Your first
in
Olymp-
New York City at
Yeah?
the Beacon Theater. Just so exciting, and I won the first one, but it was just the whole experience.
Yeah.
Going up to it, my mom, and then also me not really having the money like to do it, but like people coming together and helping me.
Aw, that's
sponsoring me and supporting me
To
and
make it happen.
Yeah, and that was the best.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's pretty special. Wendy, what's your favorite?
Well, you guys already know this, but when I finally got my pro card, I remember I had been holding back for so long, and I finally won my pro card by winning my class at the USA. And I remember, like I told you before, for the first time, I went to the overall, and I was against girls who were bigger than me and taller than me. And for the first time, I was able to like just go for it with my posing.
Go all out.
And I just remember the feeling of fighting so hard for my pro card. And not only did I win it, but I won the overall. And I just remember I felt like more victorious than I think I've ever felt in my life. And my whole family came out to watch me. They surprised me, actually.
Oh, wow.
They all surprised me. And one of my sisters had just given birth, and she was breastfeeding, and she even took the long drive while she was breastfeeding and everything. And it was just a magical experience. One of those once in a lifetime things that I just wish everybody could, hopefully everybody could have that once in a lifetime. That was mine.
You just, it's really focusing on the little things too that make it special.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember I soaked it all in. I just remember like really feeling that, being in the moment and just enjoying it and just fully enjoying it. I've never had since I turned pro, I have never had, that same feeling exactly. Like that was the highlight for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
being a fitness athlete, we are afforded the luxury to have that element to do our routines and be creative.
Yeah.
And my favorite was the 2020. It was the COVID year. Thankfully, Olympia was pulled off, and it was in Orlando for the first year. The production, the set, the stage was just
it wasn't pulled off. You mean they pulled it off?
incredible. Yeah. I'm sorry. They pulled it off. So the fact that it happened, but we have a clip of the opening, and the reason I'm showing this is kind of silly.
It's my favorite.
It's my absolute favorite routine. This little robe or cloak is my favorite. And I love
wait
this
to see.
routine. Yeah, Nico hit it. We're going to talk through it.
I love his voice.
Your two-time reigning and defending
And we're not going to watch it.
Fitness Olympia champion from the USA, Whitney Jones.
I got chills.
Like the stage
All right, let's see what the
production.
champ's bringing this year.
But this gold robe and the fur, it was so extra.
It was such a rad outfit.
I loved it. Yeah, so it's just, I love this
Did
routine.
you play this in your head over and over again, like
All
when
the
you went to
time.
bed?
Oh,
You
yes.
just like imagine yourself just like strutting out on stage like that.
Yeah, all the emotion. You got to practice every aspect, every step. Where's your face? What are your eyes doing?
Yes.
It's more than just doing skills on stage. You really have to perform it. But this was, the year itself was crazy for everyone.
Oh, I'm like getting chills.
Yeah.
You look like someone put the fast forward button on a TV.
So we don't have to watch the whole thing.
Gosh.
This is, But anyways, that's my favorite
Amazing.
routine. Again, it's like, to me, it's not just, I've loved it. I've been fortunate enough to win some Olympias, have some great shows, but I like that element. That's my favorite part of the sport of our division. So when it's a fun routine, a good routine, and you love it, that's always going to be
You feel
my
it. Well, you can tell that you feel it deep down inside.
You can get into it. That's when you really sell it.
Yeah.
So we all have our favorites, but we're going to take a quick break right now. We'll be back in a second with more fun, exciting, and embarrassing stories.
All right.
All right, we've got more questions. I'm going to direct the next several questions to specific people. These came from you guys, and I'm going to go right into it, starting with you, Camille. You're a judge. You've judged a lot of shows. You've seen a lot. But we have someone who asked, what's the most awkward thing you've seen on stage?
So I haven't experienced anything extremely awkward yet, but one thing I will say that I feel it can be awkward for the athlete, and I don't know if they really realize, but especially the new athletes, if they're in a larger class, and they look great, but they skipped the tanning process, like they decided not to tan, or they didn't even do any makeup. They just kind of came au naturel, which is fine.
Wow.
But they stand out so much against the rest of the people in their class, and I feel like they could have done better because they would be more comparable to everybody else. So those who would just completely skip the tan or don't do the makeup, like they did all that hard work, and it's something that's so important that you can't just do a home, like a tanning booth. It's not the same. You need that competition tan. That's my quick answer.
No, I like it. That's a very important tip. You see it a lot, sadly. And then what's the next question for Linda?
Yeah.
There's controversy in every sport. During your days of competing, what was the most controversial event or newsworthy event?
Ooh, I know. Well, thank goodness we didn't have a whole lot, but the only one I really remember.
Everything she did was
Drug
newsworthy.
testing. They had drug testing. I think it was at the Arnold's Classic.
Ooh.
And so a guy walks away, wins, takes home the money and all of that. And then I guess later he failed the drug test, and then the guy that placed second gets the money and wins.
Well, if they're going to do drug
controversy.
testing, why would they not just do it right then and there? Not, I mean, that's
Yeah, but it was like.
so they only drug tested you after you won, not before.
I think they did the drug test. They did it before. They did it like the day of the
Maybe
show.
just slower to get the
and
results.
it didn't, the results or something.
Interesting.
Didn't come out, because we
I
were all
could see
really
how that's
new with
controversial.
that. But it was very controversial, and that person, because of the money and
Yeah.
it was embarrassing.
And that moment on stage too,
Yeah,
that
so all year
the
long.
second place person didn't get to.
Right.
And then, like, the thing is that it stinks for both the first and the second place. The first place is embarrassing.
Yes.
The second place didn't get to enjoy the glory in the moment.
And I remember that guy's name and clearly remember, it wasn't cool for him. So, yeah.
Well, Wendy, there's a question for you.
Yes.
You are an impressive guru for all face products. So can you share what your current favorite products are for things like face creams, under eye cream, face washes, masks, etc.?
That's a great question. Yes.
I'm going to say that I could do a whole episode talking about products. So I'm going to actually give a little trick that I use that I want to share, a little gem. So, as we get older, we our skin, under our eyes, it'll wrinkle, and the way that you sleep and everything like that, your skin is healing when you're sleeping. You know what I mean? And the position it's in while it's healing can cause more wrinkles or whatever. Your collagen is turning over at nighttime. So I like to lay the skin flat while it's healing at nighttime. So I always you can get really cheap on Amazon, their eyelash extension under eye patches, like hydrogel, and I'll put those under my eyes and sleep in them. And if you have a hard time getting them to stick, you can put Vaseline on top of that so that it stays put. But that way, while I'm sleeping and my skin is regenerating, it's regenerating in a flat state. You could also use silicone patches. You could use hydrocolloid Band-Aids under your eyes. But I just like to, that way I could put my cream and everything that I want. Like I said, I could go on and on about creams and lotions. But that's just a really good trick to, get your under eyes to end up being smooth.
I think you need to do some IG story or something and show us your product line. Just be like, this is what I've got.
It's too much for like a little gem. That was the only.
Or even like your top 10 favorite facial products. I mean, I'd be curious too.
I'll do it.
I know, definitely. I know they would want to know, because I would like, what about Arginine?
Yes.
Matrix? The Botox in a bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Arginine? Is that how you pronounce Arginine? Matrixyl.
I don't think so.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. There's also.
I think you're the beauty
But I'm going to do that hydro whatever you're talking about.
You know that stuff, the like Plexiderm and everything?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it's going to be so great. That is such just a scam, because the way that it works is it will, in the pictures, it looks like the eyes are saggy, and then you see like the sped up version of how it like flattens out the skin. It's like, oh my gosh, it's magic. Well, then you can't move because basically it constricts, right? So it takes the gel, as it dries constricted. So it does flatten the skin out at first, but as soon as you start moving your skin around, it will crack and it'll get all gucky.
Yeah.
It's not a good situation. So those things don't actually help. They don't solve problems. I'm talking about actually turning your collagen over and improving your skin. I don't want a quick fix that's going to look good if you're just sitting there like,
the collagen.
You want to move your face, that doesn't work.
Yeah. It's
We go on and on for this, you guys.
I think we need to have
We should definitely do something on that, because the skin.
Especially the
everything.
face. I mean, we've done some of the tools, but now maybe products.
Maybe we can all share our routines.
Yes. Actually, that would be cute. Bring our products in. Yeah.
Let us know, you guys, if you want us to do that.
All right, Camille, next question's for you. A viewer said, thanks for being so vulnerable about your eating disorder in the past. That's a very personal topic, and you shared it with us on a previous episode. Can you give us mothers who are raising daughters, tips for identifying warning signs that our daughters might be having issues with. This is huge.
Yeah, that is
Think
big.
about it. You have a daughter, so you've been through it.
The biggest thing, it starts with the mother's behavior first. So if you're a mother, you know, a lot of us have our own insecurities and our own feelings towards food. Maybe we're on a diet or we make comments about our bodies. Oh, I feel fat. Be really careful with what you say around your daughters.
Yeah.
You want to portray a positive body image as much as you possibly can. And if you are having negative thoughts, kind of keep it to yourself. Don't share it with them because they will pick up on it and they will learn your behaviors. Warning signs I would look for would be if they are restricting their food, if they're not eating meals, and it's very popular for kids right now to like they hear about these things. My daughter is in middle school and she'll say things like, "Well, is this junk food or is this will this make me fat?" And she's very slender. And I'm like, you don't need to worry about that. You can eat whatever you want to. You're active. You have a fast metabolism. You can eat whatever you want. So just really portray a positive body image and just be in tune and communicate with your kids.
Yeah.
That was really good advice. That was really good advice.
It's huge. Kind of scary.
All right, Whitney, you have a question. What is the most obscure recent injury you've ever had, and how did it happen? Do you have photos? Needing dental work is considered an injury, FYI. This sounds like Alex. So you had an injury recently.
Oh my gosh, yes, I didn't know.
I mean,
that nobody knows about.
Right.
well, I'm always, I've broken everything, 18 surgeries, so it's always something. But this one, I meant to try it. I should have a good story on deck for this, but
I'm
now,
in my seat right now.
I'm going to tell you that, and Wendy did notice yesterday when we were just chit-chatting, she's like, "You're talking a little funny." I busted out all my teeth in the front. Well, not all of them, but all the important ones.
Like last week.
Yes,
important
exactly
ones.
1 week ago.
Last week.
The top two and the bottom two. So the two most prominent teeth in your mouth.
The important ones.
And so I looked completely homeless, hillbilly. I'm from Mississippi, so I can say that. But it was hilariously awful. And it was not doing something crazy trick that you would think with fitness. So she has a dog, if you guys don't know Winston.
Alex?
Yes, my girlfriend, one of my best friends, Alex, her dog is amazing. We're best friends. And so we get really excited when we see each other. So I came in the door and I said, "Winston!" And I went to lean down and he jumped up. And it was literally just the perfect storm. He hit the bottom of my chin, which it's happened before. I've done it with my own dog. And my teeth just they were just perfectly aligned and boom.
Shattered. Oh, I can't believe
And
that.
I instantly went, "Oh," and I could feel a piece of tooth on my tongue. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And then as I started talking, pieces were falling out.
How does that happen?
So yeah, it was just a perfect storm.
Of everything you've done,
That's how
what
I lost
did it?
all these. So I've got
That's
all
what
the
did it?
yeah.
Of all the stuff
I know, all the
that you
flips
do,
flying in
how
the
is
air.
that what-
Yeah.
Of all the things, I don't
And I
understand.
face plant a lot. So maybe I
Yeah,
broke them up.
yeah.
But yeah, all these are fake right now.
But
And-
this says so much about you
Oh
because
my
this
God.
is like this is people's one of the biggest fears that people have. And Whitney has literally been just like this whole
Like
week.
a piece of cake. Like
Yeah, she's just like
oh, well.
it's funny to her. She's just like my teeth fell out.
It
It's
was
like, what do you mean my
hilarious.
teeth
Like
fell out?
just kept going in the dentist, and he's like, "All of these are. We got to do something with all these." So I'll have my permanent teeth in soon. But if these fall out, I'm promising you, I'm taking pictures because I didn't take a picture toothless. And you know me,
For
I
Halloween,
would post that.
Halloween, take your dentures out so we can.
Okay, you know, like Whitney,
Done.
you know, like when you're trying to open a jar and you can't get it open, so then like somebody like tries to open it, and
Yes,
they do
and
all the
easy.
hard work.
It could have been
and then it comes back to you, and you're like, "Oh, that was easy."
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what happened with your teeth. You've been banging them, and they're just ready to go. And that
Either
just-
way,
They said,
my
"Okay, I'm
dentist
out."
just planted something. He needed a vacation.
someone already was working on that
cute.
jar, and you just popped it
Yeah.
off.
So yeah, I'm sharing it. That was nice of her
That
to
was
write in
cute.
and
Good job,
make sure you guys know
Thank
I've
you,
got a
Alex.
mouthful of
Thanks,
fake
Alex.
teeth.
All right, Glenda, you have a question. What magazine photo shoot was your favorite?
Yeah,
Oh, my favorite
so
was
many.
the one with Corey Everson and Sharon Brunel. It was a Flex magazine cover, and they brought in a stylist. We had on these pleather. We wore these pleather outfits.
What year was this? We got to find this cover.
Yes, awesome. I think it was 1995, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, the outfits were just really cool. They came in
we
the
need to
stylist,
see this.
and the outfits were like this pleather, fake leather. I had on gray with yellow, pink bikini on.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really cool. We had big platform shoes.
Wow.
So
and we were
over
on
the
this
top
glass.
extra.
Over the top extra
fun.
was really, it was a lot
Okay.
of fun.
I like it.
Yeah, and that Joe Weider put that whole thing together, and it was
Okay.
the
The brilliance.
my favorite.
Oh, how fun. You have so many
Yeah.
good stories, I bet.
I know. I wanted to sit here and listen to all of Linda's stories.
Wendy, we got one for you.
Okay.
Someone said, I became a fan of yours when I was a newbie and saw pictures of you from photo shoots. You've shot with many top photographers in the industry. So who are some of your favorites? Because you have some incredible photo shoots.
Thank you. Thank you. I have shot with some great ones. George Hintaxis, I really like. I think you guys have all worked with George Hintaxis. He is really great. And the thing I like about him is that he doesn't doctor any of his images. Like he'll send me like all of my photos like right away. So I have all the raw images, and I like to post raw images.
Yeah.
I don't like. But then, on the flip side of that, I really like another photographer that I worked with a long time ago was David Art. And I'm not saying he like doctors up his photos, but however he edits them,
so
they
cool.
look so magical. They're just like mystical and like
David
just
Art?
David Art from California.
Yeah.
Yes, he's and I remember I have like a special connection with him because I remember in 2014 when I won my first Olympia. No, when I qualified for my first Olympia, I remember I was fighting that season, and I linked up with him at the beginning of the season. I took my first top 2 finish in 2013, and I linked up with him, and I remember he started posting like a photo of me like every day from our photo shoot until I did my next show where I did really, really well, and it was really good because we were starting to build our
nice.
Instagrams together, and a lot of the photos that he posted of me, like it was like back when like the algorithm didn't exist.
Yeah.
And when you posted a photo, it actually showed up on people's pages. And that was I have a connection with him too. With that. So yeah.
Nice too. So for athletes out there looking to work with photographers, obviously we've had some great experience. There are some amazing photographers.
Yes.
Always take
There's
advantage
a lot of great
doing
ones though.
a
Everyone I've
cool
worked
shoot.
with has been great. So if you see a photo and I tag the photographer, then I would say that that's an endorsement on my end.
Okay, Camille, another one. I liked this question. I saw this one come through. The bikini division is known to have the youngest athletes in all the divisions, yet you stepped on this Olympia stage and dominated against the younger athletes. Now, I changed that because it said
Right.
There's a bad word there.
how she beat those bitches is what it said. How did that feel, beating those bitches?
Fucking rad.
Best response ever.
Yes. That's it. Drop the mic.
But right?
Fabulous.
I
She's
mean, but you know what?
fabulous.
I never, like, I didn't really care. Like, I didn't care. Like, I looked at myself as like, still like a
owns
rookie.
it.
I always thought of myself as a rookie. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But
Like I'm a freshman in the sport, okay?
yeah, I would look around. I'm like, okay, you could be my daughter.
Yes.
And yeah, it felt amazing.
And you were so gracious. I mean, like, you're so...
Well, that
so
answer didn't sound gracious.
No, but I know you in reality. And you are. I mean, you celebrate everybody. You're excited. But again, that division's tough.
Yeah.
It is.
Our skin's different. You've had a baby.
Yes.
It's a different ball field for you.
Yes.
And you dominated. So that's awesome.
So, ladies,
Yeah.
you can do it too. I didn't
Yes.
start my competing career till I was 33, and I started my first Olympia at age 38.
Wow.
I'm 43 now. You can totally do it.
yeah. Same. 35 and 38 Olympia. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's sweet.
Youth. Mm-hmm.
Do we have time for one more?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do a rapid fire. This one
Okay.
is for Linda and Whitney. What piece of advice would you give your younger self from what you know now after all your experience? You are both truly inspiring, and so many of us can learn so much from you and your years of experience. So rapid fire, Landa and Whitney, what have you learned, and what would you share with a younger competitor, your younger self?
My younger self, my gosh, that's a tough one. Good question.
You want me to answer while you
you
think?
go ahead,
Okay.
yeah.
I would say one of the things I was looking at it for the sport, but there's so many opportunities, business opportunities. It's not just about competing on the stage, and that's all I knew at first. But gosh, there's ways you can get involved with judging, with promoting, with showing up and help expediting, working and maybe learning the back end from photography, video work. There's so many aspects of the fitness industry, working with supplement companies. It's limitless.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes and ears open for opportunities. People just want good talent and hard workers. It's not just about your physique. And I think people go wrong into the sport just focusing on the body, and there is so much more to this industry.
Because people forget about placings just a couple weeks away. So there's more to it.
There's a new show.
Yeah, I think it would be being in the present. Being more present.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, for me, I
yeah.
think that's really like super key. Yeah.
And with such a long career and so much accomplished, that's great advice.
Being present, because it's like such a precious time, and I think
And it's a
every
time
single
warp.
competition, and it's like I still cannot even believe, like just like the 90s and how long it's been. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I'm present now, and I was present on my second time back on the stage. But in the beginning, it was challenging. But I think it is hard for young people to really understand the importance of being present.
Hearing the advice straight from the legend.
Enjoy it all.
This was so much fun. We love hearing from you guys. If there was a question that you still want us to answer, this won't be the last time we do this. And we may even try to answer some questions on each of our segments. So please like, subscribe, comment. Again, Olympia TV, make sure you're following along. And we would love to hear what questions you have for our next episode of Ask Us Anything. Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.